Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a video covering 3 new ergonomic mice on the market, and all 3 of these are going to be lumped into one video just because there's not really necessarily anything that compelling or some large wow factor with respect to any of these releases. I have the EC2-DW, I have the ZPW, and I have the Paro Aurora. Now, I know that I'm saying there's not really anything compelling about these purchases, but keep in mind somebody might find very good comfort in any 3 of these shapes. The reason I'm saying that is because the EC2 has been on the market for a number of years. It's not a new shape. It's not anything that is pushing the boundaries. It's just a refreshed EC2, now with 4K, coming in at a lighter 60 grams. It feels great. It is a fantastic mouse, and it is the most premium mouse that is on the mouse pad right now. The ZPW, the reason why it's not that compelling to me is it's just a SteelSeries Prime. Now, the SteelSeries Prime shape is absolutely amazing. I think it is one of the best ergonomic shapes, and SteelSeries is literally just sitting on a pile of gold with that shape. The original Prime feels more premium than the ZPW with its unique switches in the Prime, its better coating, and just generally when you pick up something like an EC2, it just feels more premium than the ZPW. The ZPW, though, with the 8K variant, I think comes in at $90, so it's the cheapest thing on the table with 8K. And the performance here is absolutely fantastic. There's nothing wrong with this mouse in terms of its overall sensor performance that is humanly perceivable to me. I can take it in game and I can absolutely play at a top tier level, no issues whatsoever. So the Prime shape being as good as it is, if you haven't tried it, you might want to try the ZPW. The drawback for me, again, is like, if you're going to clone something, you just need to hit it out of the park. It should feel absolutely amazing. You're taking a tried, true, and tested shape. You should make it feel next level, not a step down. And I don't mean a step down, again, from the sensor performance or the internals or the weight balance, etc. But the mouse just doesn't feel like a premium product. It feels like a budget product. It feels like the type of plastic, if I was to take a toy out of a Happy Meal for my daughter, this is the type of plastic feel that those toys feel like. It just isn't compelling to use in my hand. And a price of $90, I could certainly get a very high-end product used on the secondhand market in like new condition. So for me, if I'm going to pay money and I want something on my desk, I want it to feel premium. It's not just about the shape anymore because there are so many good things on the market. I can literally throw a quarter out of my house and hit a top tier performing mouse. The market is oversaturated. It is full of top tier products. So again, if something releases and it's a clone or it's a refresh, make it as good as humanly possible to really make it feel compelling. Again, this is a fantastic shape. The mouse overall feels good. The build quality, I don't really have that many concerns. Again, it feels somewhat cheap. The sides do flex more than any other mouse that I have right now in my lineup. If I squeeze hard, I can actuate mouse 4 and mouse 5. Those are issues, but no issues that I would ever feel in game. Overall, it's using Omron opticals. It has a 3950 sensor. It has 8K. It has a good Nordic MCU. Again, Omron opticals that feel decent. Does the click experience feel premium here? No, it absolutely doesn't. If I hold mouse 1 and mouse 2, the plastic can feel as though it gives way and doesn't really hold up with a great sense of durability. Does that affect any of my in-game performance? Absolutely not. And the side flex on mouse 1 and mouse 2 actually don't feel bad at all. Mouse 3, spammable, feels good. The encoder, I don't have any issues at all. And the overall click experience in game, again, with Omron opticals, there's not a whole lot to complain about. It's really more of these nitpicky things with respect to build quality. The side buttons are on the larger side, not as large as the EC2-DW, but they definitely leave a lot to be desired. They just feel cheap, they feel wonky, and nothing that is not usable in game, just not an overall satisfying experience. So again, if you've never tried the SteelSeries Prime shape, check out the ZPW. It is a banger of a shape. Again, like SteelSeries, like, I don't know what the hell you guys are doing, but the fact that other people can literally take your shape now and just make a mockery of you guys is kind of just silly. there are multiple companies now using the prime shape. There's Darmo Shark, there's Zaopin. Like, wake up. You guys are sitting on the prime mini. You guys could be knocking it out of the park. So, I can't really knock these other companies for seizing an opportunity when you guys are sleeping behind the wheel. Now, that kind of covers the Zaopin ZPW. Like, if you're okay with budget feeling mice and things that don't necessarily feel that premium, and you love the prime shape, like it is coming in at 49 grams. The weight and weight balance feel literally perfect, other than the flex and the actuation of the side buttons that I would never actually be able to do in-game. It's only when I'm squeezing very hard. Omron opticals feel really good enough to not really be at a great level, but it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. It really is something that would be decent for you to check out. And again, a compelling shape. When we get to the Paro, I actually do like the Paro. It does feel like an EC3, but a little bit smaller. It feels a little bit lower. It feels, just off memory, it doesn't feel as wide to me as I remember the EC3 or as long. But kind of think EC3, but a little bit lower, a little bit smaller, but pretty close. So it's like one of those like cloning something and trying to get as close as possible without being like a full-blown clone. But it is a nice offering from Lamzu in the sense that they don't have something like this in their current lineup. They don't have a small ergo. And I do play very well with it. So that's always an important factor for me. And I also play very good, again, on the ZPW. So take that into consideration as well. But this mouse is, I think, coming in at $120 in the Aurora version. The build quality is better to me than the ZPW. It does have Omron opticals as well. The Omron opticals are much better implemented on this than the ZPW. The scroll wheel is optical. Mouse 3 feels spammable. And the new optical encoder, to me, like, it feels good. It's a little bit on the fast side, but overall, like at 47 grams for a small ergo mouse, there's not a whole lot of options for small ergo that feel like the EC3 and get this light. So again, like to me, overall, there's not a whole lot to knock about the mouse, but the overall quality does feel like a typical Lamzu mouse. So similar coating, similar weight and weight balance, that feels great. Nothing to really knock in terms of overall quality. These side buttons feel better than they do on the ZPW. They're light, crisp, responsive, good tactile feedback. But overall, again, like, it's just not this new and overly refreshing shape. But something, again, if you are looking for a small ergo, you could certainly look in this direction. But you've got things like the Razer Death Adder Hyperspeed. The EC3, if they have a DW variant, would probably be good as well. Offerings from Pulsar. There's just a lot of small ergo mice on the market, but something that is definitely nice in the Lamzu lineup. Again, Omron opticals, just like the ZPW, you've got the optical encoder, and the overall build integrity on my copy actually feels pretty good. So the EC3-DW, or EC2-DW, excuse me, the only real refresh here is, again, it's moving to a 3950 sensor. It has a new skate design that you guys can see here as well, and it does have that charging mechanism with the enhanced receiver that you can just plop it on and start charging it. To me, like, the wireless performance here feels absolutely fantastic. And while I was sick, the one thing I will say is, like, the EC coding from Zowie, or the typical Zowie coding, like, it still feels absolutely fantastic. And one of the things that still, even though it picks up grime and builds up some gunk and some sweat with the coating, it really does stay exceptionally dry during use, and overall does feel like your typical Zowie mouse that you're used to. The large side buttons, everything staying true to form. The one thing I will say is its biggest competition now on the market is the Vaxi E1, and let me just grab that here. You've got the Vaxi E1 that next to the EC2 comes exceptionally close. The difference is, again, you can see that top shell is still that one piece on the EC2, whereas you do have the separated clicks on the E1. The E1 feels smaller in the hand, to me feels more agile, and also feels like somehow, even though they come in at or around the same weight, doesn't feel quite as dense. It almost feels like the EC2 is still very well weight balanced, but it feels maybe like the weight is a little centered. But overall, two very good mice. It's going to come down, in my opinion, based on if you want a little bit larger EC2 and the sides. You can see on the E1, there's a little bit less room to rest your ring and pinky finger on the right side. And the coatings, I think, are going to make the biggest difference, where the Vaxi mice feel a little bit more plasticky, but still have a really nice coating that do stay dry as well. But the Zowie coating does kind of take the cake, especially if you're somebody who probably sweats more profusely. Again, for me, when I was sick and getting a little clammy, the coating on the EC2 actually really did come in handy. The only thing I don't like on both these mice are the glossy side buttons, and you can see the side buttons are a lot larger on the EC2 as well, which I actually do prefer in comparison to the smaller buttons on the E1. Overall, I do prefer the main click feel on the E1 much more than the main click feel on the EC2. Overall, though, like once you get used to one or the other, it kind of just fades away, and they both have satisfying clicks that perform and work well in game. Again, to me, it's just a little bit more satisfying of a feel, more responsive, feels a little bit faster, and a little bit more stable on the E1 in comparison to the EC2-DW. But overall, I think that Zowie has done a really good job of refreshing this mouse. It's just like, if this was the first release of the wireless EC2, it would have probably have been a home run. Now there's just like too many things. The market's very saturated with very good ergonomic mice, even the ones on the table right now. And like, it would just be interesting for them to really do something out of pocket, maybe make like a magnesium EC2, or just do something crazy to really like just shock people a little bit. You know, we need like a shock value to bring us back to Zowie, I feel like. And just refresh after refresh, I just don't feel it's really doing it. I mean, even like a translucent U2 or something. I mean, do something to really like draw people back in, because they really do have great performing products and good feeling products. And it is nice to see them actually refreshing, but I mean, just give us a little bit more. Everything right now is kind of getting a little bit dry with just refreshes and clones and things that get close but somewhat similar. And, you know, you can't really call it a clone, but it's kind of a clone, you know what I mean? So hopefully the market starts picking up and we start seeing some real ingenuity and something refreshing from these companies, because you guys are probably feeling it as I am. It's just getting a little bit stale. Now, I know I kind of went on a diatribe, but overall, like, all three of these ergonomic mice are good. If you want to try a SteelSeries Prime shape, check out the ZPW. Weight balance is definitely spot on. It's a good performing sensor with a good Nordic MCU. Overall, I didn't have any issues. Omron Opticals doesn't feel bad by any means. It's 49 grams. The Paro coming in at 47 grams. If you liked the EC3, but you want to go a little bit smaller, I think the Paro is something that is decent to check out. And if you are somebody who loves Zowie products, which we all definitely do, the EC2 is a nice refresh in the EC2-DW. So that's going to be it for this, guys. I hope it helped. If it did, please leave a sub to the channel. See you guys in the next review. Peace.